For the last 87 years, the NJCAA has provided academic and athletic opportunities to thousands of student athletes. However, several rules make it more challenging for two-year college transfers. Recently, 16 national coaches associations, led by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association, sent a request for change to NCAA leadership to make the rules the same for all transfers. We commend their leadership and stand together in support of same game, same rules.
After 23 seasons as a professional playing and working in baseball, leadership in sports are things I deal with every day. I feel like I have my master's in baseball field experience, but I wanted the formal degree to go along with it. I needed something flexible with my schedule, and I wanted a school that shared my faith and values. That's why ACU's Master's in Sports Leadership was the right fit for me.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Welcome to the 2025 NJCAA Division III Women's Volleyball Championship here on the NJCAA Network. We are in the Alliant Energy Powerhouse Arena in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We're back on court number one for another full day of action. We have a lot of consolation to get to begin our day. We finish our day back in the championship bracket for the semifinals tonight. I'm Joel McCall. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the NJCAA Network. Our first matchup of the day pits the two teams that lost earlier in the tournament yesterday in that first round matchup. It is Caldwell Tech, the number 11th seed, taking on Westchester, the number 14 seed. These two teams ended up losing yesterday. Caldwell Tech lost in a five-setter to DuPage, and it was quite the match over on court number two. Caldwell Tech ended up winning the first set 25-20 and the fourth set 25-23, but in between 25-19 twice to DuPage, and then the final set was 8-15. DuPage winning that, and then DuPage ended up having a five-setter later as well. As for the Westchester Lady Vikings and head coach Philip Toscano, they ended up losing in three to Butler County. Just kind of overmatched in that first round between the two teams that snapped their 16-match winning streak after the loss to Butler County. We'll see if they can respond. I know I didn't write down as many numbers with them yesterday. Really, their top hitters had 3 and 4. Bambase had 4 kills, but their offense just could not get going, and Butler County was kind of on a mission to get back to at least the quarterfinals. They were really trying to shoot for that semifinal. And there you see some of the numbers then. The kills per set, Westchester couldn't even get to that 8 yesterday. We'll see if they can do that today. And then the digs, they have to get back in that back row. Caldwell Tech is a formidable opponent when it comes to hitting, so that defense really has to step up today for Westchester. For Caldwell Tech, you come off of a tough loss like that. You see their numbers, 165 as far as hitting percentage, but 11 kills per set. They run a really nice offense. I'm excited to see the Cobras. Of course, Coach Harris, he's now like Twitter famous because of his orange suit that he wore yesterday. So I'm sure we'll get a good shot of that as well. Again, all of our stats and our matchup comparison all presented by Netting Pros. The Caldwell Tech and Westchester. And the teams that win here will actually be back on the court a little bit later. As I said, this is kind of the 9th place consolation quarterfinals, because then the semifinals is later today at 4:30. Caldwell Tech or Westchester would play the winner of the one across the way, Hudson Valley and Monroe Bronx, and that will be back here on court number 1. And the starters, all brought to you by Zurich Insurance. Caldwell Tech, they go with Orr, Bertoni, Jordan, Edwards, Bailey, and McClure. That is their starters for Caldwell Tech. And so we'll get to see the Cobras in action here on court number 1 since we did not get to see them yesterday. Starters presented by Zurich Insurance. They're jamming. They're feeling it. For Westchester, their starters, DeChico, Patinelli, Bambase, Weber, Vidal, and Sexton. And there's your starters for Westchester and the Lady Vikings. And I really do think that their defense has to step up today, too, and get some more digs. As yesterday, I mean, again, Butler County with Russo and Weldon, who had a marvelous match against DuPage later on and hit for her season high. They just were a little bit overpowered in that first matchup. But we'll see if it is the first trip for the Westchester Lady Vikings. For Caldwell Tech, they were not making their first appearance. They were making their second. They made it in 2023. They were the 7th seed then and placed 10th. They're trying to get to at least the 9th place match. And as I said, winner of this would take on Hudson Valley or Monroe Bronx, which is happening over on court number 2 with my fellow broadcaster, Dwayne Cook. Caldwell Tech will get it first. And McClure serves it up. And the receive, an overpass by Patinelli. Dumped over by Weber. Called off in the hit over the far side by Bailey. And that one out. Back to serve for Westchester is Weber. She's the setter. She'll guide this offense. 14 assists yesterday. Season high was 36, though. Good hard hit there for Bertoni. And there, Bambase getting a kill. You got to start feeling good about yourself if you're Westchester. Erase what happened yesterday. I think that's the other thing about Caldwell Tech. You lose such a tough match in that first round against DuPage, a 5-setter. Definitely wanted the higher seed and a higher finish, I should say, for the tournament. I have to kind of erase those memories and get back into action because today means something. If you can win twice, you're on championship Saturday. If you lose, your season is over right here. Patinelli with the kill then. Westchester off to a great start. 3-0. Weber, another hard serve. This did not get to the setter either, and a free ball by Caldwell Tech. Patinelli on the pass. Weber sets Sexton, blocked. Sexton with the dump off. Far side, and a hard hit by Bailey. Weber tapping it over. Trying to make the save and the dig did Gracie McClure, who's a very quality libero, but Caldwell Tech right now struggling as 4-0 the lead for Westchester. You can follow all the action of the 2025 NJCAA Volleyball Championships live on the NJCAA Network. Go to njcaa.org/network to view live and archive video of each game. Last night, not only was I, the crew here behind me, and the players down below were all exhausted after watching that Butler County DuPage match. I think everybody had a good night's sleep. Ready to go for today, up here anyway. Coach Harris, you saw him quickly, 4th year. Then his assistant, Catherine Pate, for Westchester. Philip Toscano, his 3rd year for Westchester. Alicia Owens, also one of the assistants. I didn't get a profile on the assistants for either of these teams. Some of these teams have brought back graduates from the program. And into the net. Yep. McClure was into the net, the setter. Weber back to serve. And a 5-0 start for Westchester. And that's way out. Timing of that was very off between McClure and Bailey. And an ace serve by Weber. You have to wonder if nerves played a major factor yesterday, too, against BC3 for Westchester, their first appearance at the national tournament. You know, maybe not knowing exactly what to expect. And there's a hard hit for Destiny Jordan, the middle. Come in with 214 kills, rock solid, and pushes us to be better. Freshman group has significantly grown, is what Coach Harris said, and he has a large group of freshmen. And an ace serve coming right out of that for Caldwell Tech. And back for another one is Fall. 60 aces coming into the tournament. I did not have her for one yesterday. And that push all the way to the back corner. What a play made by Gracie McClure, though. Patnelli on the free ball for Westchester. And a middle hit into the net, though, for Jordan, who had just got that kill a little bit ago. This time, an error. And 8-2, Westchester leads. Bambay serving off of McClure. Good jump over there by Edwards, but no kill. Westchester, though, free balls. That was a great set by McClure. Boy, that was tough. That ball coming all the way. She's expecting to stand, you know, kind of sideways of the net like usual. That pass took her all the way forward where she had to face the net and still managed to get a great assist off of that as a free ball by Patnelli up and over. Jordan had that last kill, and, man, that was an excellent kill. And set, though, for Taylor McClure. Eight 4. There's a tip. McClure saving that with one arm. Caldwell up and over. The Chico could not get much on that last one. Patnelli, that one high. Far side, a big swing for Edwards, and got that down. So Caldwell Tech starting to find their rhythm and staying in system to get some better swings after their slow start. And an ace serve after that, as that cannot be handled. So Jordan providing an ace. Had a couple of kills, too, already in her name. And the overpass, and that's taken. Oh, nope. Westchester was over the net, pardon me. So 8-7. Another ace by Jordan. And we're tied at 8. That one targeted off the Vidal, and then another pass that can't be handled, and Weber couldn't get underneath of it, and all of a sudden Caldwell Tech leads 9-8. And what a run at the service line Destiny Jordan is having. And we got a timeout. It was 8-2 when the attack error happened. And then Jordan got the kill at 8-3. And 6 straight points, pardon me. That math is hard on a Friday at 10 a.m. 9-8 then. Caldwell Tech, 6 straight. And you're watching the NJCAA Network, presented by Zurich American Insurance Company, the official provider of student-athlete insurance for the NJCAA. Zurich helps athletes get back on the field after an injury. Learn more at zurichna.com. Championship Saturday tomorrow, 9th place, 7th, 5th, 3rd, and then the title match, all right here on court number 1, which becomes championship court. Today, though, got to get people there. Got to get teams into that championship Saturday. Patinelli missing just wide, right in front of Coach Harris. Caldwell Tech continues, 7th straight. Caldwell Tech, after that loss yesterday, they are 19-10. They went 5-3 in Region 10. They lost in the lost to Sandhills in the Region 10 finals. And that's a nice hit there by Lily Orr. Lily Orr with a kill. Lost to Sandhills 3 different times. Sandhills last night ended up falling short against RCTC in 4 sets, in case you're wondering about them. The Chico, that's high and out of bounds. And the run continues. It is 9 straight for Caldwell Tech. Destiny Jordan's arm going to be hurting after all these serves. Free ball up and over for Westchester. Bertoni had to really adjust on that. Sexton on the tip. McClure had it first. Bertoni away from the net. Weber ended up sliding and making that, so somebody else has to set. Got to get your setter that second touch, not the first. Caldwell Tech does, and gets a hard hit out of Edwards. And that one going to the back corner. Not sure if it was going to be in. Jordan slides and dives. But it's Weber that gets that, and a much-needed side out for Caldwell Tech. Set and kill for Edwards. Had to wait and figure out who was going to hit that. 2 Cobras up there acting like they were going to swing. Plumley comes in up to the front. Back to serve is Lydia Jones, the other setter. He and Taylor McClure handle those duties. And yet again, the free ball for Westchester, and that one long for Edwards. Caldwell Tech has kind of weathered that opening flurry from the Vikings and Westchester. Got that 9 in a row. That was a tough one to handle there from Patinelli. And that one out for Orr. Not keep it in play on the kill attempt. And Patinelli goes back to serve once again. 13-11. Caldwell Tech up and an overpass. Bad thing was that it came to Weber. She'll be the one to hit it. And the lefty swing of Plumley tools that off the block for the kill. Well, Weber can hit, though. We do know that for Westchester. She started as an outside hitter and then moved into the spot of setter. Gotta like the versatility of some of your players. That's a good kill attempt by Tatiana Bailey. You know, credit for the Vikings and Coach Toscano with figuring out, well, we had some losses. I think they had some injuries as well, and that's what led to Weber moving in as a setter and ends up with over 500 assists on the season. Regardless of what happens here, he's already over it after the other night. Yesterday's match with BC3 had 14. That put her over the 500 mark for the season. Miscommunication there for Caldwell Tech. No one swings. Vidal will, and off the block. We're in a 2-point game. 15-13 here in set number 1. Good battle, just the one tie at 8. DeChico, far side, that would have been in. McClure. Boy, that was a lot of area to cover. They were asking Lydia Jones, was Caldwell Tech, to do a ton of work there just to get to the 2. Westchester taking advantage of that, getting another point, 15-14. Weber on that. So Weber's, the setters are, that was a try from Jones. Jones will set. Plumley, nope. Weber saved. Sexton pushes to the back corner. Caldwell Tech on a free ball. Weber gets the chance to set. Bam base into the net though. 17-14. Coach Harris had to use that early timeout. Or no, that's 16-14, pardon me. McClure on the serve. And Bam base, and Vidal can't figure out who that was to. Quite a bit of confusion on the side for offense right now on either team. Nobody's really getting a clean look. Let's see if they get one here. Westchester does, but it's blocked. That was still alive. Pat Nelly could not get her arm to swing back over towards her left, though, and she put it up there. Went right off the outside part of her arm. 4 hits. McClure on that. Went right after DeChico. Another block up front for Caldwell Tech on the Vidal attempt, and Weber dumps over, but out of bounds. Coach Toscano not taking a timeout. Still waiting on those. McClure. I can hear the help for Westchester. McClure got it on the far sideline. Great placement there. Good cut all the way across. You know, if you're not accustomed to the lefty swings, sometimes you can misjudge them. Bam base, that's too long. Flat-footed, hands up, and then pushing it high instead of the line drive. McClure, that had no spin on it whatsoever on the serve. Sexton brings it over. Jones had touched first, though, so somebody else has to. Well, they claim that was touched on the Bailey attempt. I wasn't sure about that. Vidal. That was touched. Sexton tried to pull her hands back, but Jordan gets another kill. And Coach Toscano will take a timeout as it's 22-14. Caldwell Tech leading. I believe over on that other side, Monroe. No, let's see. I'm not sure who's leading. We'll find that out when when Dwayne texts me over on court number 2. We'll keep you for that, though. We're going to make sure that keep you up to date on what's happening on court number 2 throughout the day. These two teams, though, whoever the winner is, will stay here on court number 1. Westchester. For Euless and Sexton, they were teammates at North Rockland High School and former Section 1 AAA champions in 2023-24. That was their senior year. They said that was the redemption arc for them as they missed the Nationals bid after they lost in a New York State semifinal. And for Westchester, this only recruit from 2025 was Bambi. You know, so he has some other freshmen, but the only recruit they came in to the program and wanting to play was Riviera, and then Mayo and Celestin were the other freshmen, but the only one recruited was Bambase, which means that Coach Toscano was really trusting this sophomore group to make a run, and they did, into the national tournament. And Bailey puts it at set point. McClure to serve. And an ace. And that is how we end the first set. One tie at 8-8. Otherwise, Caldwell Tech went on that 9-0 run and took the lead and never relinquished it. They win 25-14 and hit 10 kills in that first set. You are watching the NJCA Division III Volleyball Championships on the NJCA Network.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the National Junior College Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
My name is Riley Clark. I'm the athletic director at the Weber School in Sandy Springs. Our gym was just built this past year. It's a brand new facility and we were in need of new scoreboards. We were looking for good quality of scoreboard, ease of use with the iPads and the ability to post anything we want on that, the great warranty that it has and the ability to work with a company so easily. Those were really things we were looking for and we found all of that with digital scoreboards.
Caldwell Tech wins 25-14 in that first set. And they lead the match 1-0 here in our 9th place consolation quarterfinal. Over at Westchester, teams flip sides, and we'll get going with the second set in just a moment. 10 kills for Caldwell Tech in that set. They hit 172, and Westchester ends up with a negative hitting percentage, which really hurts them because we talked about their hitting and how they got off to a good start in this set. They really did. And we're up, 8-2 at one point, and then ended up losing it 25-14. Caldwell Tech, there you see 13 digs to 16 digs, those 5 aces. Now one of them being the end of the set for Caldwell Tech. All presented by the U.S. Air Force. For our set stats, I'll be bringing you those throughout each set here today. Caldwell Tech then, for individual-wise, they get 3 kills from Jordan, 2 from Plumley, Edwards, and Bailey. Plumley ended up hitting 667 in that first set, too, with 2 kills and no attack errors. 4 assists each from Jones and McClure, and the leading digger is McClure with 4. That's Taylor McClure. For Westchester, 3 from Weber, and again, that's their setter. She also has 3 assists, 5 digs. She's doing a little bit of everything, and an ace. You get big numbers from your setter, but the problem is that you want the big numbers to be the assists, not necessarily the kills. So you don't necessarily really want your setter to lead you in kills. That can spell doom for you, and that's exactly what happened for Westchester in that first set. Got to get somebody else going. DeChico is certainly capable. Patinelli didn't see too much out of Bambase either. She did have 9 attacks, but 5 errors, just 1 kill. So got to be more efficient if you're Westchester moving forward, if they want to advance and get to the next round, which would be the 9th place consolation semifinals later on today. We'll jump from that. We'll have another one here after this match for a 9th place consolation. Then we move on to 5th place consolation semifinals. Then come back over and finish up the 9th place with our semifinals. And then there'll be championship semifinals later tonight at 6:30. So we got a lot of volleyball to get to yet. as Weber served. Bailey, not touched. 4 hits for Caldwell Tech, and Westchester will have a lead of 1-0. And they had a lead a couple times. I should say a couple times they got out to a lead in that first set. Weber off of the tape for an ace. Well, that's her second. To the back, McClure, to McClure. So got them both out there right now, and then Jordan tried to save it. No one was over on that far side. You know, I didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Harris while I was down there. He was kind of busy with a couple other people, so I didn't really want to disrupt him too much. Had one question for him, and that was it. But I didn't get a chance to ask him about the loss to DuPage. I kind of wondered where the team was as far as afterwards and really what the story of the match was. I wonder if it wasn't slow starts, because we saw that twice now in this match here. A slow start at the beginning, down 8-2. They're down 3-0. The Chico, and that goes sideways. Weber trying to save it. Slid right into the pad on the pole. Thankfully, there are pads there. And 3-2. We only had the one tie in the first set. That was at 8-8. Pat Nelly up and over. Set and kill for Bertoni. Bertoni with that. Oh, and no one taking that, and another ace. And into the net, though, for McClure. We're tied 4-4. Fan base to serve. Oh, that went backwards and an ace. 20-25 over on court number 2 as Hudson Valley won the first set over Monroe Bronx. Fan base, that a tough serve. Edwards can't handle, and another ace. Fan base on the year, 84 aces. Had her for 10 in one match. At their season high. I don't know if you make it there. She had 4 kills, pardon me, in that first round matchup against Butler County. Bailey blocked. McClure sent Bertoni over. Weber on the dump off. You know, Taylor McClure touched first, though, so you got to ask somebody else to set. Pat Nelly, what a pass there by Gracie McClure. Chico, no full swing. Bailey away from the net on her hit. Chico climbing up towards the net. Weber going back to Sexton. And that hit the antenna. So long volley. And Coach Harris calling an early timeout, just like he did the first set, as Westchester has a lead of 7-4, not 8-2 at least for Caldwell Tech. For them, after losing yesterday, they had 50 kills, did Caldwell Tech against DuPage in that loss. Won the first set, then lost the next two, 19-25 two times. Lost the fourth in a highly competitive 25-23 and lost in the fifth, 8-15. They hit only .071, which was well below their average. Had the 50 kills, but Just not enough yesterday, even though they got 20 from Edwards. That is her season high. She had 18 twice. Comes away with 20 yesterday in the loss to DuPage. So a couple of new season highs yesterday for Caldwell Tech in that 5-setter against DuPage, which is kind of interesting because they had 5-setters against DuPage earlier the year. On September 5th, they played North Lake, and that was also a 5-setter. They played Cleveland, who was a 5-setter. Blessopie, who was in the D2 tournament, they have a win over them 3-2. They had a ton of 5-setters, and in fact, in one span, Caldwell Tech had 3 straight 5-setters. Sandhills, USC Sumter, and Cleveland, all in a span of 4 days. They had 3 5-set matches. So they're accustomed to these long battles. In that district championship, they lost in straight sets to Sandhills, but earlier in the season, then they went to 5. And Bailey rocketing that one of her best swings so far in the entire match for the side out. One before that was the error by Jordan. DeChico. And that tooled off the block. Edwards. I said 20 kills yesterday in the loss. They had a lot of D1, D2 opponents. And I know that Coach Harris said that the win over Blessopie State, and that was an overpass and an emphatic spike by Edwards. But he mentioned that was the most significant. He said that was the win. They are the winner of the D2 Region 7. They're in the tournament, the national tournament next week. He said they are a really tough team, and we won a tough 5-setter. So Sexton gets that through the double block and down. Oh, that's going to lead Edwards right into the net. Really nowhere to go. Sexton to serve. Overpass. Vidal could not bring that down, though. Far side, DeChico blocked. Overpass back over. That would have stayed in bounds, so Caldwell Tech had to play it and get a free ball. Weber sets Vidal. No. Caldwell Tech cannot get a good set so far, and that long. No touch. (10-8). Vidal into the net. Do say that was touched. Free ball, though. Now, there you go. There's McClure. And in on the back line for Edwards. Jordan serving. She's the one that put the run together earlier in set 1. Caldwell Tech was down. A lot of scrambling by the Cobra defense. Weber getting to that. McClure and Edwards is finding everything. And we're tied at 10. Second tie in this set. Or third tie, pardon me. 3, 4, and 10. And DeChico, that's into the netting, and an ace. Whoa, look out. But all Got to worry about that net getting all tied up in the hair. I don't think any of us up here would have to worry about that. I got enough hair to get tied up into the net, but she seems to be okay. That's good. 11-10 then, our score. You know, you got it on. I mentioned Catherine Pate, the assistant coach for Caldwell Tech. She was the assistant coach she was a player the last time they made nationals, which was 2023. She had a knee injury and didn't play, but her insight on what to expect could be helpful. Nerves were a factor, is what Coach Harris said the last time. He said, hopefully we can paint the expectation picture a little clearer this time and play as an underdog with less pressure. Consistent and patient is what he said he was looking for his team coming out. And they have been patient here. I mean, and they never panicked when they were down early to Westchester in the first set. They haven't. They've done it here in the second set as well. You know, I commend Coach Harris as the fact that I know that he kind of grew this program too for the Cobras and putting them back on the national spotlight with a couple of trips to the national tournament. You know, this is his fourth season, and I asked him a little bit about recruiting because I was wondering how that was. It's a difficult area, the North Carolina area. There's a lot of D2 teams around them, and so it can be tough to find some players. And he said that national tournament appearance they had a couple of years ago really helped them find some more recruits. And man, they're getting some big hits here from Bertoni as well as Jordan and Edward. Their offense, which was slow to start in this particular rotation. I don't know necessarily if he would say that he wants his middle Jordan being back there serving this many times, but the rotation is working out for Caldwell Tech because they're getting big swings from Edwards right there. An all-team first team all-region, I should say, came in as an outside, a major piece. Athleticism off the charts and very creative, improving her mental game. And I know that is something that Coach Harris really stresses is that mental part of the game. Long. That attack just a little bit long for Edwards. Well, 13-11. Pattinelli to serve for Westchester. They get back into this. Down by just 2. Down in the match, 1-0 though. That was blocked. McClure tracking it. And Bertoni finds an opening. Past Bambase, who was diving on the floor. Plumley, the lefty up front. That brings in Jones, who's the other setter. They try to play a super fast tempo and look for different attacks and hitters. Really trying to move it around. That was the smartest play Orr could make. Just put it over, even though it was on the 2. Just got to do it sometimes. The roll shot there. And same thing for Vidal. Edwards into the net. (14-12). The Chico on that serve. That Edwards, he is getting a ton of attacks. And that one off of Vidal into the antenna and then colliding a little bit with the ladder. And Sexton coming over. She's really getting banged up out there, though. She's the one that ran into the net earlier and fell over. No, we're playing volleyball. Let's not get into the wrestling with the ladder and the net. She'll serve. Garnerville, New York is where she's from. Second team all region and all tournament. Great IQ, loves to hit with power, and blocking ability has been tremendous, is what Coach Toscano said. And that was almost an ace. It will be an ace. Excellent placement on that. over on the far sideline. Westchester hanging around, 15-14. That was, well, then shorted that one. But you, right in it. And the last one, early on, and then the run to get back into and give Caldwell Tech the lead after 8-8. Then it finished up 25-14. Oh boy, timing of that. Or, that was not to Orr. Sexton, that is to her, and off the block. What I like about Westchester here in this second set is the fact that they're getting better swings from their hitters instead of relying on that young lady right there, Weber, who had the 3 kills in the first set as the setter. Got to get somebody else going. What a save by Vidal. Just one-armed it, swung it out there and got it over. Nearly got the point. Bailey roll shot. Vidal there. Fan base. To the middle and got the kill. Westchester deserved that after that save by Vidal. Arm out, just swinging over. There you go. You got a replay of it right there. She's off, right on camera showing. She just throws the arm over. What a save. And there's a little hideout play by Jordan. That serve receive, she's sneaking up over here on the near pole, not really moving. And the set, that pass has to be near flawless for Caldwell Tech to utilize that particular play. It was, and Jordan got the kill. Pat Nelly comes right back, and we're tied at 17s. Bam base to serve. Caldwell Tech hitting 147 in this set. Westchester at .091. Remember, they were in the negative that first set. McClure put it over, but it didn't work. McClure, or DeChico on that. To the back line. Bam base saves. The defense for Westchester is starting to read better, too. They're getting more digs, getting themselves back in the system. And as I say that, Jordan gets one past Weber, but her body is going off to the left, the hit to the right. That's just a better placement for the hitter. Faw back to serve. And found it. Near corner. A serve. Meredith Faw came into the tournament with 159 digs. She had 12 against 12 digs against DuPage. Did that get over? Oh, that was, yep. Still playing then. Oh, Vidal. She was tracking it, trying to get all the way back there. Edwards gets the point and the kill for Caldwell Tech. They lead by 3. The save. Vidal makes a save off the carpet. I'm throwing my hands up. Also had a game where she had 9 aces in the match. There's Sexton. Sexton, her season high 18 kills in one match. She also has done a little bit of everything for this team. 43 aces. She's also set quite a few times too as Edwards gets the kill. And you can tell Caldwell Tech when they get number 11 back up front, they're going to utilize her as much as possible. And here's that rotation I was talking about. Jordan is back to serve. This rotation has been the one that has had the most points. And that into the net and down. And a timeout by Coach Toscano as Caldwell Tech is 3 points away from taking a 2-0 lead here in our 9th place consolation quarterfinal. Order your official 2025 NJCAA Division III Volleyball Championship merchandise online at the NJCAA store. Visit shopnjcaa.com to view exclusive national championship merchandise. They got a great stand here, too, that can customize hoodies and sweatshirts, and I've got a few memorabilia shirts that I have at home that I wear proudly. They can do all kinds of stuff for you. My wife also has a couple as well. Always got to remember some of these tournaments that I get to cover. I've been on the call for the last 5 of the D3 Volleyball Championship. That will come to a close, and my run will end coming up next tomorrow night, in fact, because this tournament is moving from Cedar Rapids, Iowa to DuPage and over in Chicagoland in Illinois. Well, near Chicago, suburb. But College of DuPage will host, and so that's where this tournament will be for the next 2 years. Don't know if necessarily it's been announced that it'll be the where it will be after that, but I do know for the next 2 years it'll be over at DuPage. What a time I've had calling some fantastic volleyball overpass or takes after the timeout. So Jordan nearly gets an ace for that too. Could get the assist as the overpass off of the serve receive leads to an easy point for Caldwell Tech. The Cobras needing 2. Vidal blocked. Nope. Didn't get back over, and point for Caldwell, or for Westchester. They need a little run here by Patnelli, though, at the service line. Don't want to see this get to 24 if you're a Viking fan sitting at 19 and 5 chances to close out the set. Or Vidal again saved it. Patnelli got it up and over. Scrambling around, Bambase was able to get back up. But DeChico short on her attack. Bambase is shaken up. Or maybe it was her that got it over. Seems to be okay. Working out that left leg. I'm watching her off camera. 24-19. So set point for Caldwell Tech. And an ace to finish it out for Jones. 25-19. Caldwell Tech up by 2 then in this 9th place consolation quarterfinal matchup. We'll come back with the 3rd set here in just a moment. This is the NJCAA Division III Volleyball Championship on the NJCAA Network.
As the 2nd largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
After 23 seasons as a professional playing and working in baseball, leadership in sports are things I deal with every day. I feel like I have my master's in baseball field experience, but I wanted the formal degree to go along with it. I needed something flexible with my schedule, and I wanted a school that shared my faith and values. That's why ACU's Master's in Sports Leadership was the right fit for me.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Caldwell Tech leading 2-0 here in our consolation 9th place consolation quarterfinal as they lead 2-0 on Westchester. Winner of this takes on either Hudson Valley or Monroe Bronx. That's still going on over on court number 2. Hudson Valley has a 1-0 lead. There you see the numbers. Caldwell Tech 25 kills to just 12 for Westchester, and the negative hitting percentage Although I will say that in set 2, Westchester hit .107 as opposed to the negative hitting that they had in the first set. So they're nearing that 0 mark. 12 kills and 13 attack errors for the Vikings, 33 digs to 32. The serving aces, Caldwell Tech doubling that to get to 10 already in the match. So double figures, and that is all presented by the U.S. Air Force. Thank you to them for sponsoring our stats between sets. 2 blocks for Caldwell Tech as well. You saw the digging numbers, pretty even. Weber 3 kills and Sexton 3 kills for Westchester. So we talked about how can't be having your setter getting all these points and kills. Well, she's still tied for team lead for Westchester. On the other side, Edwards, after her new season high against DuPage, coming back out here and putting up 8 thus far in this match against Westchester, plus another 6 from Destiny Jordan. 3 from Orr, Bertoni, and Bailey, and Plumley has 2. So it's really a balance. I don't know what's going on with McClure and her hair. She's got a good laugh out of it, though. She has 9 digs, does the libero for Caldwell Tech. And another ace. How about an 11th ace for the Caldwell Tech Cobras, and it comes off of McClure. That would be Taylor McClure. Came into the tournament 11th best in total aces and averaging 3 per set were the Cobras. They have done that with their 11 so far. That's 5 per set so far today. Bertoni getting her 4th. Right off to Vidal, who I thought has played really well so far all the way around. Jordan blocked Sexton. Jordan put it right back over. Sexton on the roll shot. Gracie McClure will set. Bailey, far side. Didn't really talk much about Bailey in that second set. Pacheco, good pass off of that attempt. And that needed to get over. Jordan just missed it. Two-1 lead for Caldwell Tech. A little different story than the first 2 sets because Westchester had gotten out to an early lead. See if Weber can put him back over on the right side. Sexton long, though, on the overpass. And she is very upset at herself. You can see that, hands on the knees, head down, and then comes back up, starts laughing because she knows, oh, come on, I couldn't have an easier one than that, and I missed it. I'm sure she'd like to have that one back. 3-1. And that one just past the white line of the back. Have not had a challenge yet in this match. There is a challenge system. Coaches have 2 that they can utilize. Ooh, timing of that all off for Caldwell Tech. Vidal pushed over. Jones setting Edwards. Vidal making another great save. Pacheco just missing. She's been a little bit off on her hits today. Certainly capable. 100 kills on the year. Tremendously improved is what Coach Toscano said. Her serving is consistent and really a big benefit to the team, but just has not been able to get her offense going here at the national tournament. Jordan, her 5th ace of the match. Weber, that went way up and over. Or misses. Sexton will serve for Westchester. Had that 16-match winning streak come to a close yesterday against Butler County. Only suffered 3 losses on the year coming into the tournament. And 2 of those were back-to-back. Back on September 23rd, they lost to Dutchess 2-3, then lost to Nassau 2-3. And right before that, it was actually a 3-game losing streak because Fashion IT also beat them 0-3. So those 3 losses, and then after that, they defeated Monroe Bronx, who's playing over on the other side. That was 3-2. They beat them back on September 27th, and that was the last loss was to Nassau. That 5-setter. Then rattled off a bunch of wins. Raritan Valley, that's a team we've seen at this tournament before. A couple wins there, and then made it into the Mid-Hudson Conference Tournament. And a back hit, and a good one by Faw. Oh, yeah, she's going to dance and prance on that one. I mean, you got a DS that gets a kill in the back. It's so rare. They're going to celebrate it. You know that's going to happen. Like a libero getting a kill. You'd think that they just won the match. Bambase making a change. Riviera coming in. Rivera, how you say that. I didn't see her the other day. I had to look back up on my pronunciations. Hill for Plumley. Official down below talking to the scores table. I believe we have a challenge. Challenging a net touch for Caldwell Tech. Otherwise, the skill will be Plumley's at 9-3. So the review system, there's 3 cameras up above, 1 straight down below from us, and then 2 on the sides. And so they have this panoramic shot all the way around, and then they also have a net camera as well. So they can switch through to all, and there you saw that they were just messing around with going through the different looks and angles to figure out if there was a net touch. And they can go to the net camera as well. Official was asking maybe for the one at the net. I think that'd be the one that if it's a net violation, they've got to look for that one the most. So the challenges, 2 of them, those, like I said, do not come up to us. And stay up to date with the latest news and information regarding NJCAA volleyball by visiting the official website of the National Junior College Athletic Association at njcaa.org. Pretty cool system, though, and it has worked very well. Our challenges have not lasted very long. Well, the last one we had was last night in one of our quarterfinals, and the challenge lasted less than 30 seconds. This one taking a little bit longer. A net violation is a little tougher, and if they're not able to look at the net camera, official has got what he needs now, though. And the call reviewed, and there was a net violation. Oh, wait. Then he pointed the wrong way. Now the official's going over and talking to Coach Toscano. He pointed in the direction of Westchester. Then he started pointing at Caldwell Tech. We got to get clarification up here, too. I didn't hear the PA announcer if call will stay or what. They say it will. So Plumley with the kill. And we stay at 9-3. The free ball for Westchester. Plumlee. Saved by Weber. Patnelli's block. The Chico. Line shot. And got one. Jones trying to save. Could not. The Chico with that. That is just her first. Boy, what Westchester would love to have a few more out of her. Patnelli. Far side for Plumlee. She's switching all the way around. Working right side and outside. Because she was on the far side last time. This time on the near. Oh, and Patnelli with the lift. Knew it immediately when she touched that ball. Edwards to serve. Lyricals had a big match and a good tournament. Coming in as an outside. And she has made a big impact. You know, kept Caldwell Tech in the match against DuPage. We'll see what the Chaparrals have left in them after a 5-setter with Caldwell Tech to open the tournament. And then last night used every amount of energy possible to defeat Butler County. And Bailey with the kill. Caldwell Tech up by 6. That's one of the semifinals is DuPage and Brookhaven. I said on the broadcast last night, one of the finest matches I've ever called is Weber on the dump-off. Hudson Valley surviving over on that court number 2 to lead 2-0, 25-27. They win by 2. So Hudson Valley has a 2-0 lead over Monroe Bronx over on the other side. Jordan. They really like using that play. Does Caldwell Tech. Getting that kill and 12-6. Double up time here in set 3. 32 kills on just 12 errors. Caldwell Tech hitting over 200 at the moment. Weber. Van Base. Weber was celebrating, but it was Van Base that had the kill. Weber is the server. 12-7. Now let's look down here. 17 kills for Westchester and 15 attack errors. They're hitting .026 after that one. Which has been they've tried to go up. I mean, they started with, or they ended that first set with a negative hitting percentage. Run over by McClure. Sexton, that led her right to the net. And the overpass, Bertoni takes. And Faw reports in to play the back line for Murray. And will also be serving. Vidal, a good pass. Sexton, though, could not use it. Couldn't get a swing out of it. Jones sets for Jordan. And got the kill. Oh, my. Vidal just took out 2 chairs. 3 chairs. Vidal has now ran into the net. The netting between the, she ran into the pole and the ladder, and she's taken out 3 chairs. 15-7 as an ace for McClure. And a timeout for Westchester. Vidal's going to need an ice bath after this match. And that's not even from the volleyball. In this set, Westchester hitting 176. That's why I said their hitting has improved throughout the match. But the problem is, so has Caldwell Tech. Westchester has 5 kills in this set, the third set. But Caldwell Tech has 9 and only 1 error and hitting .364. So that has crept up too for the Cobras. (15-7). Winner of this takes on the winner of Hudson Valley and Monroe Bronx right here on court number 1. A little bit later on this afternoon. Our second match here for the consolation quarterfinals for 9th place is Finger Lakes and Holyoke. On that one, Nick. Too long on the serve for Faw. Fan base back to serve for Westchester. Fleur, set, roll shot, Bertoni. And that one falls. Some frustration by the Vikings afterward. Back is Jordan. That molten ball really got smashed after that one fell to the floor. Weber setting to Chico. That was out of bounds on DeChico. I don't know if Caldwell Tech had even realized it. Hit the antenna. Comes to Vidal. Ellie can put it down. Edwards swings for the fences and into the net. Edwards hits certainly for power, but I think you'd like to see that shot selection grow as she moves into next year. Sexton and an ace as Caldwell Tech had miscommunication. Can't quite see the setup, but if you notice when we get to that wide shot, it's only 2 in the back. There, now you can see that there's only 2 in the back for serve receive for Caldwell Tech on this particular lineup. And that goes through the double block. Bertoni picks up another kill. And I'm sure that's by design for Coach Harris. He's figuring that he can rely on Faw as well as McClure in the back for serve receive, something I have seen high school teams utilize. It's just that 2 in the back for serve receive. It's a lot of area to cover, and that one missing for Vidal. But if you're comfortable and you trust who you have in the back, then you go for it, because that at least then you know you're going to get a good pass and get some options off that serve receive. That's what all coaches talk about. You ask them keys to the tournament, keys to matches, they're all going to say that it's serve receive, that they need to win the serve receive and the serving game within a game. Plumlee collides with Jones and comes back over for Westchester. Caldwell Tech leading by 8. Got another one for Edwards. Edwards in the match, 9 kills at 217. Now it's updated to 10 and 250. Jordan has 8 and Bertoni 7. So nice balanced attack for Caldwell Tech. And that's what we talked about with Westchester. They just never really found that offensive groove. Weber having those 3 kills in the first. As that for Bailey. Trickles that off the block. Pattinelli went down to try and make a play, but could not. That ball gets past her. The spin of it took it away from Pattinelli. I mean, there's really not much he could do on that. Weber over on the 2. Bailey going back line. That might have been out, but played anyway for Westchester. And they get a kill out of it anyway. 21-12. The Chico to serve, 21-12. Down by 9. Needing a run is Westchester. They trail the match 2-0. Bailey got that off of the right arm of Weber. The block up. 22-12. Caldwell Tech needing 3. That's an overpass. Comes back over to Caldwell Tech. Jordan finds the floor. Chico, good pass. Vidal, good swing. And that's just it. You stay in a system like that, you're going to get opportunities for clean looks. It just has not happened consistently enough for Westchester today. Bailey at the 10-foot line. Could tell that was going long right away. Vidal to serve. I feel like she has had a very good match. She has been all over the floor. Jordan misses on that. That's the first time I think Caldwell Tech has whiffed on that particular setup with going to Jordan. Got the pass that they wanted, the setup. Vidal overpass. Weber. McClure there on the dig though. Bailey, line shot, found it. At 24-15, and we are at match point. Caldwell Tech has 9 to work with. Back to serve will be Taylor McClure, the sophomore. Caldwell Tech trying to keep their season alive. Coach Toscano decides to utilize his challenge to know if this was in over on that far side line. Well, there was a couple of his players that said it was out. And this will be the best look. I'll zoom in on it, see if it does hit the sideline or not. Valley leading 2-0 on Monroe Bronx over on the other side, and this was a quick review. And it was in. And so that challenge, and it is McClure then. Match point 1 for Caldwell Tech. Short serve and an ace in front of DeChico, and that is it. McClure with the ace, 25-15. Caldwell Tech winning, and they will advance to the 9th place consolation semifinal, and we'll see who they play, either Hudson Valley or Monroe Bronx. It'll happen here on court number 1 at 4:30. For Westchester, their season will come to a close with a trip to the national championship tournament and 21 wins and 5 losses on the season for Coach Toscano and company. In the match, Edwards finishes with a game-high 10 kills for Caldwell Tech, and they hit 41 kills total and hit 241 as a percentage. 20 kills for Westchester and 47 digs in the match. Individually wise for Westchester, they were led by Sexton with 5. That'll do it for our first consolation 9th place quarterfinal, as Caldwell Tech will come back out after they pick up their 20th win of the season, and we'll see them against whoever wins over on that other side between Monroe and Hudson Valley. Hudson Valley has a 2-0 lead. I'm Joel McCall. Thank you so much. You've been watching the NJCA Division III Volleyball Championship on the NJCA Network.
Hey, Coach. Looks like the thunderstorm's rolling in. Are we good for the night?
My weather app says we're going to be just fine. Focus on the game.
My knees are aching. Storms are brewing.
Facebook says a tornado just touched down.
Harry weather detected a lightning strike 7.2 miles out. We gotta call it.
Like the call.
Attention, the game has been delayed for lightning.
Knew it.
Make the call with confidence.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.